Hi, thanks for joining me on A Tiny Cup of Joe. I'm your host, Jenny, and I'm really glad that you're joining me. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit about salvation. What is salvation? What is salvation? According to the New International Version, the Student Bible, it is deliverance from danger or evil, especially deliverance from all that separates people from God. Sinful ways, ways that you're hiding, things that you're hiding in your spirit, those kind of things separate you from God. Evil spirits in people will separate you from God. Um, Too much time on anything besides God will separate you from God. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. See, assurance of salvation is, first of all, built on trust. If you check out Psalm 37, it says, "Do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those that do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away." Through Christ is another way for assurance of salvation. Romans 8 says, "Those who live accordingly to the sinful nature have their mind set on what nature desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their mind set on what the Spirit desires." And it's also, assurance of salvation is also produced by faith. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of spirit of love, power, and a sound mind." So we'll move on to ways to achieve this, but let's start with these three. So do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those who do wrong. That is Psalms 37:1. And we're going to talk a little bit about this because the main thing I think that people need to understand is that fear is the biggest tool that the enemy has, okay? It's so old and ancient and it's so powerful that we need to comprehend what it does to us so that we can slowly devour it, right? Okay, the main goal I think is for us to understand fear, okay? Fear is a powerful tool used by the enemy, and it is so engraved in our generations, in our generational beings, that I don't know really how. I don't have like a step by step way that you can get rid of your fear. But the way that I did it was prayer, lots and lots of prayer. Um, Now, when you pray, you don't beg for things, okay? You don't beg God to give you things or do things for you or anything like that. Prayer is thanking God for whatever it is that you're wanting or needing. Because God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omni everything. He already knows what you need and what you want. He knows your thoughts before you have them. So if you think that you're going in and you're talking to God about situations that He doesn't know about and doesn't understand, you're wrong. What He wants is to know what your level of obedience is at. For example, knowing that you go into prayer thanking God rather than begging God, that's one up. You know, you're one level up from where you started because you start to change your prayer life. And when you begin to change your prayer life, you'll see how much more at peace you are after prayer, because it's like you're going in and you're telling the almighty power of all, "Thank you for already providing this for me and having my mind renewed to a point where I understand that it's there, and I'm giving thanks and praise for it." God will then give you the uh, discernment on your acquiring of what you asked for. Okay, so it's not easy to just be part of God's kingdom. It's a lot of work, but definitely worth it. If you're doing anything else in your life, it won't be as beneficial and it won't be as meaningful as studying the Word of God and being close to God. Now, when I say studying the Word, I don't just mean the Holy Bible. Okay, you got to read several different views for an understanding. Like, for instance, I read a couple of books. Of course, I read the Bible all the time. I mean, I go to my concordance. I use this study Bible. I mean, I've got several Bibles. I like to try and make sure that I'm not being fooled, because the enemy loves to fool people, okay? The enemy loves to laugh when you think that you're going in the right direction and you're not. So let's just try to keep that in mind. Now, as far as dealing with fear, the first thing that you need to understand is the crucifixion. Okay, the crucifixion of Christ was to defeat death. So when Christ came, he was crucified, brutally beaten before he was crucified, and he took all this on for us so that we don't have to die a second death. Now, a lot of people don't seem to understand that, obviously, because we're still dying. You know, people are still dying. I'm not dying. I died. And that's what brought me here. Because I wasn't able to speak in front of anybody or give my testimony or say anything about anything until I died. And that's God's rule. If you want to have a testimony, there has to be a testator, and that testator has to die. And so that means the old you has got to go on away. Old you has got to go. You can't have this fear of death still living and lurking inside of you, because it will constantly throw you back. And to those of you that think you're getting away with things that you've done because you haven't been punished for it, or no one talks about it, or things like that, God warns you as well. It's in the Bible. So with that being said, the first way to get rid of your fear is by becoming honest. You want to be honest with yourself first. Yourself. Like, there's things that you do and you say, and you start to believe it yourself, and you tell yourself all these things because it's what's being told outside of you. And what you need to understand is that one thing, okay? You are a very powerful, very unique individual, okay? I don't care what your circumstances are, you are very powerful and unique, and we need you. And so that's what this is all about. This is about being truthful and honest so that you can serve your purpose in this world. Okay, we're not meant to be suffering and broke and hurting and ill and all of this stuff. It's going to stop because we're going to switch to a love-based life, and things are going to change because God said they are. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end this session because I think that it's very exciting and very awesome for me to be able to be here and to share all of this with people, because I think that it's more important that helping others becomes the focus and priority in our minds. Like, if I only help one person, that is absolutely phenomenal to me. It's absolutely amazing. That's all one person is more than not even putting effort to help anybody. So it would be amazing. It would be amazing to see a huge change in this world through the Word of God, through God's love. And we're not talking about the old school, traditional, religious, everybody has to be this way, that way. No. You turn your heart to God. You love God. Let go of your anger. Let go of your hate. Let go of your fear. That stuff comes, it comes in time, but just turn your heart to God. Things are going to be okay. Don't be afraid. I love you, and that'll never change.